Okay, so here's a conjugate problem. Let's run through it just to kind of see what's going on. First of all, the first thing I identify is what's kind of like the closest matches. So this is very similar to this, right? The only difference is an H plus between them. And then water and this are very similar as well. So that's the first thing that I do is I identify, okay? The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out which one's the acid and which one's the base. So if you take a look at the reactant side, so if you look at this, and then if you compare it to itself over here, did it lose an H plus? And it's pretty clear that the H that's here is missing on this side, right? And also it's a minus over here now, and over on the first side it was neutral. So that one definitely lost the H plus, all right, as it went across this way, which means this is going to be our acid. All right. Now, let's take a look at the water. So the water, as it went across here, it went from H2 to H3. So it gained a hydrogen, which means that it's acting like a base. All right. Now on this side, you can just think of, if you just flip it, it works. You could also go through and figure out, all right, so if this is the acid, there's the H, right? Now, once it's over here with no H, it needs to go back to the other side. So when it goes back to the other side, it's picking up an H plus, right? And something that accepts an H plus is a base. So that's going to be a base. And then you can do the same thing for the H3O. When it goes back to becoming H2O, well, how does it go from 3 down to 2? Yeah, exactly. It loses one, and that's going to make it an acid. All right. So now that we figured out all of them, what we're going to use is the chart to figure out which is stronger, okay? And then that'll let us figure out what goes in here. All right, so the first acid is that acetic acid, that CH3COOH, which is right here. And the second acid is H3O, which is pretty strong. So you can see that H3O is actually stronger, so it's going to be going back again. So this problem and the last problem, it's more likely for it to go in the reverse reaction. But let's check the bases, just for the heck of it, right? So here's one of the bases, and then here is the other base, water, okay? And with this one, the stronger one is the CH3COO minus. So this one's stronger, all right, which means that's also going to push in that reverse direction. So what you should have in here is a large arrow going back and then a small arrow going forward. Now that we have the arrows in, we need to figure out where the conjugates go. So again, wherever the bigger arrow is going, that side is going to get the conjugates. So this is going to be conjugate base, that's going to be the conjugate acid.